I've just come in from a surf and I pulled up a little bit sore in the shoulders, which tends to happen to me when it's one of those sessions where just paddling all the time. It was a really strong sweep and it was a bit of a nightmare really, and I'm a little bit tender through the shoulders now, and I've had a lot of shoulder injuries in the past, so I tend to be a little bit susceptible to getting a bit of pain in the shoulders. And if you're the same, one of the things you might think is, kind of rubbing out the shoulder, and you can be a little bit unsure where to start. And in most surfers I see, it's often a problem with their lats that tend to kind of pull on the shoulder and pull you into these funky positions, combined with the fact that we're on the board like this, because we're going to remember lats are a very big muscle to insert here, along the spine and down here. So we're in this kind of short and contracted position. It makes sense that having a technique to release your lats is going to be quite helpful. It can also be helpful for your lower back too. So what you're going to need is a ball. I've got one of my special not really yoga balls, which I got made for this sort of purpose. And what you're going to do is you're going to push into the back of your armpit and find this kind of tight little tendony bit. You'll find it when you get on the ball anyway. And we're going to pop the ball just around that area. So you might have to explore it a little bit. I'm just at the back of my armpit. And what you're going to do first is just hang on here, relax. You might want to put your head on a block or a foam roller or something like that. And on that note, people often ask me, what about doing this with a foam roller? Now, a foam roller doesn't really make that much sense for a technique like this, or any release techniques really, because the work is done where the muscle becomes a tendon which comes into the bone. We want to kind of overload that area to get it to release. We can't really do that with a foam roller. It's not specific enough, in my opinion. And it also, the ball allows us to access a lot of other techniques too. So I'll probably hang here for 2 minutes, but that's a pretty boring video. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go side to side on the ball. And you should probably feel that muscle tendony area kind of skip over the ball a little bit. It can be pretty gnarly. Then what I like to do is we're going to do the movements that oppose the lat. So elbows bent, elbow comes off the mat, and then comes back. So it's kind of a little bit like an active release technique. So elbow up and back. Might do 5 or 6 of these, and then roll the ball around. And then we're going to come into another area behind this muscle. There's like a little kind of pocket that the ball will sit in, underneath the shoulder here. And we're just going to move the arm up and down. Again, you might like to relax your head on something. And then I'll usually follow that up with a couple other techniques. An easy stretch while I'm here is having the right hand in front of the left knee and just kind of dropping the shoulder side to side. So things like this, and usually in the whole not really yoga system I teach, we tend to try and follow that with some kind of active strategies and some neural work as well. But that's just a simple technique to start. The ball in the lat, bit of release work, a couple of minutes, try and follow it up with a stretch. If you got anything out of that, if you'd like and share, that would be great. And if you want to know a little bit more about these techniques that we're working on, they're in my not really yoga surf training programs. There'll be a link somewhere under, I don't know how this really works, but it'll be there somewhere. I'll see you next time.